What in the hell? Y'all, they knocked my shit off. They took me down. I guess that was too much. I'm gonna have to edit this, but yeah. So what I was talking about was they don't want y'all to see this. Make sure my microphone is now. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Dog. What in the world? Okay. Is it too real? Okay. I mean, I'm not up here saying nothing that's not public knowledge. I know this stuff is not public knowledge. I mean, it's not nothing secret or hid, and I don't have a big freaking following. So, I mean, y'all, I mean, really, like, y'all need to chill out. I don't even have a following. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, So, so why I didn't have any of these problems? Why I didn't have any of these problems before they took my video anyway? I'm about to get right back into it. Before they took my before they took my video anyway. They don't want me to tell y'all this stuff. I'm about to get right back into it. Before they took my video anyway. They don't want me to tell y'all this stuff. I ain't have none of this going on. When they woke up and cut on their machine, this stuff was clear. I ain't have none of this going on. When they woke up and cut on their machine, this stuff was clear. So I should have did it earlier. Like, yeah, I did it earlier. Let me see.
Are you receiving Social Security disability benefits? Do you need to work?
I don't even know.
Get a bonus up to $3,000.
Yeah, as soon as they figured out that I was up here, they want to come with this bullshit. Figured out that I was up here, they want to come with this bullshit. And I was talking about, and I'm talking about things that they don't want me to talk about. And I mean, it's public knowledge. Like, damn, y'all act like this is not stuff that people can find out. Y'all, y'all act like this is not stuff that people can find out. I mean, it's public knowledge. And I'm not, and I don't have a big following. Like, I'm not the most popular person on YouTube, so I don't get it. Like, I was talking about, oh, Lord. Mm, Get back into it. Not this for sure. Mhm. Gonna have to edit that. Okay, so
Of the forthcoming months.
this is the Moringa people. This is what I was streaming. This is a matriarchal society over in Guinea. Um, Matriarchal. They have kept their original spiritual practices. They have actually kept their original spiritual practices. It's the life in a matriarchal society. It's the Oranga, and they are also called the Bisago. They're Bisago, they call themselves clans. The southwestern Guinea-Bissau, there are some islands where a very special people live. The Bisago, what it is to make them, what makes them so special is not the fact of living in balance and harmony with the spectacular nature that surrounds them, taking from the land or the sea only what they need to survive. We was deep into this, and then they took my video. These people are the matriarchs. They have kept their original spiritual practices. They are taking from the land and the sea only what they need to survive. Neither is there deep animistic spiritual deep. Okay, they're they're very spiritual. Their rights to acquire the knowledge of their ancestors. What makes them so special is that in the Bisago society, the women are the protagonists. They run it. The women run it. They choose their mates and stuff like that. I know it was one that if she gets angry, she said she leave one time, she gotta come back again and leave, then she gonna take all her stuff and she not coming back. And they are connected with their ancestors. They're connected with nature. Um, they are very in connection with the water. They have the water spirits that they admonish as far as she birthed they said it was three daughters that was birthed that was over the ocean, over the wind and the rain, and then over the trees and the earth and stuff like that. So these are very it's called the Basu, the Orango over in Guinea Basu. This is a matriarchal um clan, and they have no wars. They said their queen, way back when the Portuguese was trying to start war, she would pay them like pigs and give them money that's not war, because they don't want war. A lot of times they said the matriarch did not want to go to war. It was the patriarch that was they like to go to war and stuff like that, because the war makes makes them money and whatnot and stuff. So war makes and they like destruction and stuff like that. And look at us now, like, and it's now no alignment with nature. It's building and consumerism and construction. I want to live that. I want to go back to the ancient ways, but I also want to be balancing out with technology. They say Atlanta and Lemuria was water and technology, but I want to go back to being in a line. And I'm trying to get there now. I'm trying to do that, align more with nature, with the ebb and flow. A lot of these things that we are worshiping and that we are into now as against nature, is against the universe, is against the nature ebb and flow of things. It's a lot of greed and consumerism, a lot of masculine thinking and stuff like that. Yeah, so we have to get back into alignment with Mama Universe, Daughter Earth, Righteous Father, the ancestors. Oh, and these people, they really venerate their ancestors and stuff like that. They really have a temple that they go in, and can't but certain of the women priestesses go in there and they honor and venerate them and things like that. So very spiritual. Um, yes. Oh no, I don't want to see that right now. I'm not about to talk about that right there. Um, so yeah, we was talking about this sister right here, and what is going on? She got curved by Tom Brady. This little low vibration stuff. I already talked about this. So she went to the Drake concert and she wanted his attention. You know how Kanye used to dote over her? She has to be aligned for some reason with a powerful man. But in my opinion, I think she should have just stayed with Kanye because it's not gonna get no better than that. And that has to do with Kanye was a cover and a protector for her. When he came along, everybody was taking him for a joke, but Kanye put his genius with Kris Jenner genius. And yeah, I will say that she is not a dumb lady. She's not. I'm not going. The mom is. She probably something like a visionary. I think Kris is a Scorpio too. So Kris got with Kanye, and they made them into some people to know about and stuff with his creativity and his business savvy with fashion, and just being able to make us, hypnotize us into forgetting that she was into adult movies and stuff. So yeah, I totally think it was a successful marriage, especially in Hollywood. It lasted for over 10 years. We forgot about Kim being an adult star, and we looked at her as being Ye's wife. So I really think that they did their thing. But now, since the Pete Davidson, I didn't know that Pete Davidson had a grudge against Kanye for something that happened a few years ago about a pizza dinner where Kanye paid all of it and Pete was broke. So I didn't know that was one of his enemies. And this is somebody that he had a lot of beef with. I'm pretty sure Drake ain't got over that Donda song because, like Tisa Tale said, allegedly that made him have to be a dad. He didn't want nobody to know that he had a baby with an adult star and you know, Pusha T and all that. So by her going to that concert, that's another jab. Seemed like at Kanye. So I don't know what she got going on, but this is a patriarchal society mindset. Still, we hadn't evolved, a lot of us, into the ascended thinking of the matriarchal balance of being balanced with women. So I think with her mindset, she has to have a man. She's into that male worship and stuff. She feels like she has to be attached to a famous man. She might should have stayed with Kanye and they lived in separate houses, because I know that took a toll on the relationship with her having to go through all of those mental health issues with him. And I'm sure he has his pet peeves with her too, with being always wanting to be attention in the limelight and all that, and that's probably competition. But honey, Kanye was the one they was all over, because it seems like now they don't put you back in the category of being an adult star, and I know that's got to be hard. Maybe you just need to focus on the kids and stuff like that. And I'm repeating this because they took my video. I don't know why, but maybe I played that other thing too long, so I won't do that. But that never really happens. They'll block it a little bit, but I mean, shit. All right. So what's this? Kim Kardashian attends Drake's concert and recites search and rescue symbol in the crowd. Okay. I played this earlier. Maybe I'll play it again. How she share screen. Okay. How she was how she was wanting attention from Drake, and she wanted attention from Tom. Tom, I don't understand. Like, girl, it's time to spend time with them children and focus on yourself and heal. Forget about it. Forget about trying to be connected to some man with a big name. Honestly, here we go.
He's like, hey, right? That's Kim's love language. Grandiose public displays of affection. Kim wanted a moment. Her and Drake were supposed to have a moment. She's salivating for that moment. She's waiting for it. She went to the concert by her public song about her when
Look,
Central C wanted made her send of
he walked
oh
right
my
by
god, yeah. Kim's like salivating and
Drake.
she's like, oh my god, and she's waiting for him because she wanted to have a moment. Kim's love languages is public moments of adoration. That's how Kanye used to always get her. Like at Donda, her walking in the white dress. She said she wanted a divorce. He made her center stage when he like made a song about her. When Central C wanna be Kim and them, and she's like, hey, right? That's Kim's love language. Grandiose public displays of affection. Kim wanted a moment. Her and Drake were supposed to have a moment. She's salivating for that moment. She's waiting for it. She went to the concert by herself. She went with, of course, Tristan, right? We'll talk about that in a second. But her, Bad Bunny, and she's off to the side sitting by herself. The streets are saying that this was supposed to be the moment that Drake publicly acknowledged.
So yeah, Kim was humiliated at that concert because Drake didn't walk right by her. I don't know if he was hitting it and quitting it or whatever, but she getting curved a lot by these guys. I mean, she want to be connected to these, and we all know Drake do stuff like that. He did Jennifer Lopez because he was all cuddled up with her, and then he right back out with somebody else, and Jennifer took that picture down fast. She was like, I ain't about to go through none of this. Make no fool out of myself. I can keep it moving too. But we know Drake, he invite beautiful women to his party, and he don't even pay him no mind. Mm. He might get with him later on and be like, look, meet me to my room. But you know, Drake a Scorpio. He on that smooth pimp stuff. You know how it go. Honey, he be in Houston a lot too. Somebody was telling me like, oh, are you gonna go see Drake? He was somewhere. I like looking at him like, what I'm going to? I like him. I can listen. I don't be going to no big gatherings and stuff like that. Not no more. I could see him. I could see him right from my screen, TV screen. I'm trying to go in there and be in the midst of all that riffraff. Only you don't never know what's gonna happen at that type of stuff these days. Anyway, you gotta be careful. But yeah, I guess I played that thing too long. But yeah, she just really need to focus on the kids and blah. Okay. Yeah. So this is the indigenous people of one of the indigenous people of Hawaii. Um, this is indigenous person of Hawaii. This is the another indigenous person of Hawaii. Yeah, they were talking about how they took their land. You know, the U.S. took Hawaii land in what 1889 or something. The Queen, let me say her name right. The beautiful Queen. Let's see. Queen Lilukalani. Lilukalani. She was the last sovereign monarch queen of Hawaii from 1838 to 1917. She was the last sovereign. She was the last sovereign of the Kalakua dynasty, which had ruled she ruled the unified Hawaiian kingdom since 1810. She was born Lydia Kamakaha. She became the crown princess in 1877 after the death of her youngest brother, made her the heir apparent to her elder brother, King Kalukai. By the time she took the throne herself in 1891, a new Hawaiian constitution had removed much of the monarchy's powers in favor of an elite class of businessmen and wealthy landowners, many of them Americans. When Queen Liluokalani acted to restore these powers, a U.S. military-backed coup disposed her in 1893 and formed a disposed. That means they got rid of her and formed a provisional government. Hawaii was declared a republic in 1894. Liluokalani, Queen Liluokalani signed a formal abdication in 1895, but continued to appeal to U.S. President Grover Cleveland for reinstatement without success. Okay, she was still alive. The United States annexed Hawaii in 1898. So they pretty much stole Hawaii. She was a member. She was born in 1838, and she was a member of a high-ranking Hawaiian family. Her mother, Kiohakali, served as an advisor to King Kamehameha III. Young Lydia was educated by missionaries and toured the Western world, as was customary for young members of the Hawaiian nobility. She spent time in the court of Kamehameha IV, and in 1862 married John Owen Dominus, and the American-born son of a ship captain who became an official in the Hawaiian government. Dominus would later serve as governor of Oahu and Maui. Dominus would later serve as governor of Oahu and Maui. The couple would have no children. Her brother was chosen king in 1874, 3 years later, when her youngest brother, W.P. Lilohoku, who had been Keakusa's heir apparent, died in 1877. Lydia was named presumptive heir to the throne. As crown princess, she was thereafter known by her royal name, Liluokalani. In 1881, she acted as Kakoa's regent during the King's World Tour, and she also worked to organize schools in Hawaii. So she wrote more than 160 songs. She was a skilled musician. Oh, so she was spiritual. And chants in her lifetime, including Aloha, Aloha Oi, which became a national anthem of Hawaii. It was inspired by a horseback ride in Oahu in 1877 when she witnessed a farewell embrace between two lovers. Oh my God. This lady was she was a very amazing woman. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see there. There she is. Queen. Queen Liluokalani. She was the last one, and they illegally took this country. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. They are very. That's a very spiritual. That's a very spiritual place. People might not know that in the 1990s, Clinton apologized. Bill Clinton apologized to them for taking their land unfairly. You know, he apologized and stuff, and they've been trying to the special thing about it, they had proof of what happened. They didn't destroy their documents and stuff like they did a lot of the other places, like they did over here and stuff, and try to hide the documents of how they took the land from the indigenous people. You know, those people over there in Hawaii had proof. So they was trying to rebuild and get their stuff back going. And um where is that video? Here it is. Let's see. They ain't gonna throw me off. They're not gonna throw me off or what I'm trying to do. That's what they want to do. Uh, okay. Let me go back to the beginning a little bit. I don't know why this. I don't know who that is. Look like the singer. Okay, this is the ancient people. Okay, about the ancient, the history of how what happened. A little bit. Oh, am I sharing screen? There we go.
Hawaii. When we think of Hawaii, we think of paradise. Coral sand beaches, coconut palms gently swaying in the ocean breeze, waterfalls.
So yeah, they just showing you how Hawaii was stolen by the U.S. Like with this queen that I showed y'all that back in the late 1800s.
Rainbows. Hawaii is all these things and many more.
European or American descent comes in 1778 with the arrival of Captain Cook. It is speculated that there may have been other encounters prior to that, but it's not documented.
Captain James Cook, a British explorer and sailor.
So what she is saying and what this is pretty much saying, it's pretty much saying that they came over there and took those people forced. So how they did, they forced them to not speak their native languages. They came over there with the indigenous people and they forced their practices on them. It started with the British, and then somehow America got the U.S. got involved, and they made those people not. Um, they made them so they couldn't speak their native language and pushed the indigenous people out. Took the queen down first, and just took over. Just had it's a large military presence in Hawaii, so they were making them not speak the net. Don't this sound familiar? Don't this sound familiar? But see, they it's proof everywhere. You can put the pieces together, but and in the 90s, Clinton admitted that that was stolen by the U.S. and they went over there and lied, sneakily took that place and just took over. I mean, they just took over because they were rich and they felt like they could do it. I mean, this happened in late 1800s in Hawaii, and they just those people they started tearing down with the bulldozers. They invading the spiritual burial ground. That's a very spiritual place, like the Vietnam, even like in the Americas, the ancient burial grounds and stuff like that. They went over there, started building and desecrating those people lands and stuff like that. And it was a little boy, and he was 8 years old. They was out there playing, and he actually found, um, it was a cave by his house.
Attention
So it was
retirees,
actually a
if you're
cave
willing to be at your computer
that he
from 9
found
a.m. to 10:45 a.m.
by his house.
In front of the Lalani Palace, the old.
And so the cave that he found by his house, this is when I guess the U.S. was over there. So the cave that he found by his house, they was playing and then they found bones in the cave, and they were like, "What is this?" It was actually the remains when they called the mother called the police. It was actually when they did the forensics on it. They found out that it was ancient Hawaiian indigenous bones. So what the little boy did from the time of 8, he started guarding over it and I guess doing the venerations and stuff like that and talking to his mom, learning about where he really came from and fighting to keep those sacred caves and the burial grounds of Hawaii from being invaded by the people that was trying to build and the consumer and make those, tourist areas and stuff like that. And I don't think he was as successful as he wanted to be, because it's like they would tell them they wasn't gonna what you call it when you disrespect the burial. His mother be telling him like, you don't step on the grave site of the dead people. You walk around it and you take flowers. That's indigenous and ancient. That's across the board. I mean, we here in the Americas, I mean, we really messing up, because we are actually supposed to be venerating our ancestors and stuff too. We think that's crazy, but actually they took our here. The same thing that happened over in Hawaii happened over here, happened in Africa, happened in Australia, happened in Puerto Rico, happened in Colombia, happened in Haiti. So what? Come on, this ain't no coincidence. Well, he was going before the board of people that actually supposed to actually go before them and try to keep them, the other companies and those corporations, and from desecrating the dead and stuff. And he said, he actually got videos of it. It's actually videos, but he wasn't. I don't think he wasn't as successful as he wanted to be. And this was a water drilling.
According to them, that the Hawaiians have one of the best claims, if not the best claim,
Listen.
for independence once again.
So that bill really should have apologized to the national population. But that wordage of saying national population would kind of throw off, right?
See, he talking about Bill Clinton doing wordplay and stuff like that. When he apologized in the 90s, he was like, using word. You know how they put politicians and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's just it's insane. It's just wow how they do and stuff. Do these people and it's funny how this, it's a lot of spiritual. One of the psychics was saying how a lot of these places, we think this stuff that is myth and stuff that we are reading about, and it's just fairy tales. But a lot of this mythical and legend stuff was actually happening. Like it was not. It's not all fantasy that we think we reading about in these Disney stories. They get that stuff from a lot of these indigenous lands, like Atlantis and Lemuria. We thinking that it was over here, like it was a paradise until they came and destroyed it. They came and destroyed it and cut us off from source and all of that. I mean, and I was getting these downloads before I actually found the information, but I was tapping into that like a while back. I mean, it's wild, but it seems unbelievable. So they say myth and legends and stuff like that, but actually, this stuff is actually stuff that has happened. You know what I'm saying? You don't know this woman. I'm sure she was of the matriarch, and she was a musician. She was a. They not gonna tell you this was a high priestess and stuff like that. They not gonna tell you that this woman was the ancient royal holy spiritual bloodline and stuff. Look at her. Look. Even those cartoons they make about Moana, what is it, Moana and stuff like that's. They want you to think that's just fairy tale stuff, but they really don't want you to know who you are. That's why a lot of times they don't want the indigenous people of the land speaking their languages and so forth. They want to keep them uh, colonized and into the religion and stuff like that. So they want to keep them at a certain level, and they won't be able to connect with really who they are. So it's wow. But yeah, this is the queen this was the last queen. She didn't have any children or anything, but she was more than what meets the natural eye. Yep, she definitely was. Um, yeah, I wanted to show some more of that, but I'll show a little bit of this boy that I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah, this is the boy that no, that's not it. No, that's the indigenous life in Hawaii, but trying to see. Oh, here we are. Okay, I'm gonna share this. This is about them desecrating their burial ground.
Many sand dunes have been documented as historical burial grounds. Today, it's been sold off and illegally mined for home development, golf courses, and to make high rise concrete buildings in Hawaii. I met Clara Pana on Maui. She's a protector of sand dune burials where her ancestors lay. These burials are zoned and protected as a Hawaiian burial preserve.
This is a place that has, well, always been dear to my heart because I was born here in the sand dunes of Wailuku Waikapu. These sand dunes, as other sand dunes all throughout the islands of.
Yeah, so you know these people are they have different burial practices over there. The ancient people where they bury these people in sand dunes, they bury them in caves. If it's rocks around, they stack the rocks up over the body and stuff like that. So these people are that young boy started at 8 years old when he discovered the bones, the ancient he didn't know they was ancient bones, and his mother broke it down to him about his people. I mean, these are like seven generation Hawaii, like seven generations indigenous to the lands and stuff like that. So, oh man, my heart goes out to them. So and fast forward, none of the stuff they told them people, a lot of the people that didn't want to go along with the corporations, they living in poverty. They pushed them out. They couldn't afford to live over there. They selling the homes for millions of dollars and stuff like that. So it's just a mess. To leading up to what has happened. It's just a mess. It's just sad how they do the indigenous people of the land. No respect for them. Just pretty much push them out. Just pretty much push them out. And here's another one.
Everyone else is telling you that
about how they have been
you need millions of followers on YouTube and Instagram, a bunch of certifications and letters after your name.
How they have been pushed out.
I'm in the Hawaiian island of Oahu.
This is talking about how the natives have been pushed out. I'm just play a little bit of it. They have been pushed out of Hawaii, the indigenous, not the native, well, indigenous or native.
Where tourism and the real estate market are booming. But what does that mean for the native population of these islands? And what does that have to do with colonialism?
We've reached this really boiling point where we cannot survive at home anymore.
It's like we're being pushed out of Hawaii, and as a native Hawaiian, I'm very sad for our people. Every day I think about that.
We realize that America isn't all it's cracked up to be, that they've taken more than they've given to us.
I came here because I often hear people say Puerto Rico is on its way to becoming the next Hawaii. Is that a good thing? I asked native Hawaiians.
Welcome to Hawaii.
Hawaii is very much part of America.
We are not on
harsh reality of life in Hawaii. People living on the street, many of them Kanaka Maoli or Native Hawaiian. The irony is that they can't afford to live on the land that was once stolen from their ancestors.
At the White House yesterday, President Clinton signed a formal letter of apology to the people of Hawaii.
With the Apology Bill of 1993, the United States admitted.
So see what I was saying? Clinton in 1993 apologized for what they had did, but it's still bad. I mean, you can't, some stuff you just can't apologize for. It's just the damn damage is done. Mm. How the how the how the hell can you apologize for going in there, taking them people? One of the kings or whatever, the presidents, they just murked him and face down in front of the people. How can they apologize for this? I don't know. Some things you can't apologize for. You just can't. Like, it's, imagine how that has affected the indigenous people of Hawaii. Not just them, but what they done this worldwide, y'all. They done this. They been doing this. Now, fast forward, you got those rich people like Oprah and MarkZerkurberg. It's several others that I don't even know their names or know who they are. They have grabbed that land up before all this fire stuff happened. And then they say allegedly Oprah had a fire a few years ago where people was allegedly saying that she did, that was convenient because it was burning up documents where she had been on that island. You know what island I'm talking about? And then she was hanging with other people that's Weinstein. Don't get it from me. This is public knowledge. But she's good. She over there helping them people because she done grabbed all that land that they trying to make a smart city over there, which y'all don't know. And allegedly, let me play this. I gotta find this. They trying to make that a smart. They have a president that became president in March. Now, why was the emergency disaster fund 3 million? He upped it when he became whatever president or whatever to 40 million because that's part of the United States. So we say president now. It's not gonna be like prime minister, a king or queen. It went from 3 million to 40 million. And from my understanding, a hurricane can't reach that far. Now, this is allegedly. I'm not no meteorologist. This is all moon goddess opinions. This is not the opinions of everybody. I'm basing it off of some research as far as meteorology that I researched, but I'm not a meteorologist. But I'm gonna let y'all hear this right here, if I can find this lady. I just want you to hear this. I might even play, since they want to play. I might even play Miss the rest in power to QueenLiliuokalani and also the ancestors that have been all over that has been disrespected and they burial grounds has been desecrated and stuff and uprooted. And they said that they taking artifacts from them too, like they have done worldwide, and putting it in museums. And you supposed to leave that stuff with the dead because it's been venerated and it's been energy has been put into it. But they taking their artifacts and selling it to the rich and tourists and putting it in museums, whatever they want to do with it. They disrespecting these people based off of something that ain't even real money. You know what I'm saying? Because the resources were actually free, the natural resources, until the banking system came along and sold it back to the damn people to enslave them and stuff. So it's just sad. I mean, this really got me. I was in tears because I know this had not just happened to them. It's happened all over, but I'm seeing this shit in real time. Like, it's a bit much. It's my heart goes out to them. I can't say whether this was man-made, natural, or what, but I know people, they want, when they want something. I mean, the wildlife and stuff like that. Come on, it remind me of the modern day modern day Avatar, because that was a wetland. Hawaii was a wetland till they started building all that stuff, building all those hotels and those tourist attractions. That was a wetland. And the guy that's the seventh generation activist said that colonism has affected them because they went in there and started tearing up the natural ecosystem and the structures and stuff in the water, taking the water and using it for they the power they tourism buildings and stuff. And it was where you could, it was the water dwell, they were water dwelling people. They were actually like water dwelling people like Avatar, you know? And so was a lot of these other places that we think is supposed to be dry land before they came in and started constructing their high rises and their skyscrapers and these roads and all this stuff. I know you thinking I'm talking like, well, we don't supposed to be civilized, but we supposed to be in tune with nature, not against nature. I mean, some of this stuff we don't need because it's gonna mess up the what is he with the green effect and all that? It's messing. It's polluting the earth. We gotta be in alignment with earth and only take. We're supposed to only be taking what we need from earth, not being greedy and being on that consume, you know, stuff. So it's really sad. But here it is. Oh, okay. Let me bring her up. Yeah, show him. Yeah. But it's very suspicious, you know. You got those people, you know, buying up. Oh, and they said, and let me play a little bit of this before I go into here. We'll go into this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are over there. They got investments over there. A lot of them people, them people that was at that billionaire meeting, they be knowing this stuff gonna happen before it happen. They go do they be right in with it. I'm alleging this. I don't know for sure, but they be in with a lot of the destruction and then go over there. That's like chopping my head off and then go and try to glue it back on. I'm just saying, like, I don't trust that. It's just it. I'm gonna let you hear this, but first, play a little bit of this.
Listen, there's a good chance somebody's trying to hack your website right now. You gotta make sure you're covered. I'm talking about enterprise-grade security built into your site and fully managed.
Going on every day, where what little lab
doing blockbusters, and now Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's own private sanctuary.
But there's a dark side to this paradise that Zuckerberg has brought to light. A century-long battle over land that began when American plantation owners overthrew the Hawaiian kingdom.
So now, billionaire comes in with his money, doing it by force, removing people out of their land.
We see these sort of things going on every day, where what little land that was left for us now is up for grabs.
This is a rock wall Zuckerberg built around his 700-acre property. And just to give you some perspective here, it fit more than 500 football fields inside.
It's one thing to want to protect your property. It's another when Native Hawaiians like Shannon Buckner still own pieces of your land.
So the land that you own is just across this fence right here.
Yes.
But Mark Zuckerberg has put up this wall and fence and it says no trespassing.
Yeah.
What would happen if you tried to go there?
I'll get arrested for trespassing.
Even though it's your land.
Shannon is among countless Native Hawaiians who own inherited lands called kuleana, which means responsibility. Individual parcels can sometimes be small, but they're owned collectively and are meant to ensure Native ownership in perpetuity. The problem is, kuleana lands are passed down through the generations without a will or deed. The lack of paper trail means some descendants don't even know they own land. Other times, under a complicated legal system called quiet title, a buyer like Zuckerberg can sue kuleana owners to force them to sell their lands, usually at auction for pennies on the dollar. And that's just what he did, suing hundreds and infuriating many more.
Ironically, I mean, he built this wall for privacy.
Okay, y'all hear that? It's all over too. It's the same shit, different day, same agenda. You know, just go go in, do what you want, take her land, leave all over the world. We see y'all doing this, you all we don't be here before. Same shit, and we don't reincarnate for, but at the end of the day, they gave me this platform. I ain't so close, but it's a shame. And the same people donate to charity stuff, after they done did all this destruction and help to that fine. Going into a church, so I understand. Let's see. My understanding. Maybe I can find it. Yeah, but they won't talk about this stuff on the news. Oh, they ain't gonna talk about that. They're not gonna talk about this. I'm gonna let y'all hear this. Come on now.
But I want to read this to you, and then we're going to dive into a couple different things here, either to maybe kind of prove or maybe kind of debunk some things. So let me just read this to you here. This says, remember, build back better. The picture gets clearer after reading.
This is Squirrel Tribe. Y'all can go over there and check her out. I watch a lot of different things, but it's Squirrel Tribe.
Reading this, the government of Hawaii state's goal for rebuild is to make the entire island of Maui the first smart island. They want the entire island governed by AI, as outlined in the Hawaii Digital Government Summit of 2023 that they have planned to host next month on Monday, September 25th, 2023 in Hawaii. Now, it says last January of 2023, there was a smart city conference in Maui to turn Maui in an entire smart city island, pushing everything electric and making 15-minute smart cities. Lastly, there was a contract last year that was signed to build high-rise condos and businesses in Lahaina, which was a historical town that couldn't have any new development done to it. But now, because of the fire, it can be. Now, let me explain to you. I wanted to see if this was true, if these things were, in fact, things that had transpired in January and were, in fact, going to transpire in September. And sure enough, I've actually pulled up the website here, and I will put a link into the pinned comment. This is something that is happening in Hawaii in 2023, September 25th, in Honolulu, to be exact. And it is the Hawaii Digital Government Summit. So I will put that in there. And it says here, just a quick overview so you know, the Digital Government Summit brings together technology-focused public sector professionals with leading industry partners to connect on innovative approaches, get inspired, and discover new technologies. Join us and let's improve the future of government together. It says here that at the 2023 Hawaii Digital Government Summit, attendees will have unique opportunities to share ideas, celebrate best practices, and hear about the latest technology trends. This year's summit will bring together public sector and industry innovators to better understand and navigate these ever-changing and challenging times. I'm excited to hear thought-provoking, inspiring speakers and have meaningful discussions with you all in September, according to Douglas Murdoch, Chief Information Officer for the state of Hawaii. Now, the governor, Josh Green, is also going to be there. There's a John Register, who's a Paralympic Games silver medalist, and Jack Shaw, innovation and technology strategist, speaker, author, and consultant. There's a lot of people going to be there. There is a full-on agenda here of what they will be doing on September 25th. So I will put a link to this so you guys fully understand what will be happening. Now, at the same time, there was a smart city, if you will, conference in January 3rd through 6th of 2023, to be exact, the Hawaii International Conference on System Sciences. HICSS 56 is what it says, and it was in Maui. It was actually hosted at the Hyatt Regency. I have a link here to things that were talked about. I will put that into the pinned comment as well, or in the description, one of the two. But what I would like to talk to you guys about is something that has been bothering me since the beginning of this. And here's what's been bothering me since the beginning of this. They said that the fire started on in or on Lahaina. I don't know how you say in or on. I'm not 100% positive what the correct word there is, but I'm going to say in Lahaina, Maui. The fire was started because of the severe gusts of wind, 80-mile-hour winds is what they said, from Hurricane Dora that was 500 miles away. This is what they have stated, that is what started the fire. That I'm still not quite sure how that starts the fire. I can understand that there's wind and things like that. Maybe it knocks over an electric pole. Maybe it knocks down a wire and something happens. But the fact that literally the island burned or the city burned in 4 hours, that much devastation in 4 hours is a little difficult for me to understand in an area that is surrounded by water, that has humidity, that knew ahead of time that there was some sort of hurricane in the vicinity, that they were also fire prone according to them or National Weather Service, and that the alarms that they had been testing, that they have used previously, did not work during the time of the starting of the fire. But here is what bothered me. 500 miles away, this hurricane, because a lot of people say in comments, well, if there was a hurricane, why was there no rain? Why was there only wind? Well, because it was 500 miles away. So whatever rain would have been associated in theory with that hurricane was out in the eye of the hurricane in that area, not 500 miles over in Lahaina. But here's the problem. And I looked it all up because I want you to see. This is Hurricane Dora. This is the path of Hurricane Dora. Right here is Hawaii. Here's the path of Hurricane Dora. Right before it got to the Honolulu, Hawaii area, it was purple. Purple is a category 4, shows 130 to 156 miles per hour winds, right? And then as it gets closer to Hawaii, it drops down to red, okay, which is a category 3, 111 to 129 mile per hour. And then it stays red from August the 7th at 4 a.m. all the way until August 10th at 10 a.m. It suddenly jumps back up to purple for a few hours, not even a few hours, not even that long. And then it's suddenly back to red. So right in time for it to be near Honolulu, technically, it had jumped up to 130 to 156 mile per hour winds. Here's my thing. I looked it up. I said, how far away was Hurricane Dora from Lahaina at its point, whatever. And it says it was about 490 miles south of Hawaii Island during its closest approach on Tuesday, August 8th, when the fires broke out on both Maui and Hawaii Island. So here was my question.
Guys, I almost got evicted today, but I just signed up for a $1,400 health allowance, which pays for my rent. Not only that, but groceries. So I took it grocery shopping.
Sorry, y'all. I don't have that. Whatever.
How could hurricane winds be felt from 490 miles away at 80 miles per hour? Because that's what they're saying, 80 mile per hour winds. So I looked up, how far away can hurricane winds be felt? Okay. Hurricane force winds can extend outward to about 25 miles in a small hurricane and to more than 150 miles for a large one. Tropical storm force winds can stretch out as far as 300 miles from the center of a large hurricane. As far as 300 miles. This one was 490 miles away at its closest. So you're telling me that hurricane was so incredibly strong, not even a category 5, but somewhere between a category 3 and a category 4, with its highest winds being roughly 156 miles an hour at a category 4, 490 miles away, that somehow its 80 mile per hour wind hit Lahaina and started a massive fire, even though it clearly says here that the farthest it will go is 300 miles from the center of a large hurricane? How did it jump that extra 190 miles to get to Lahaina? That's where my question comes in. That's where my issue comes in. Do I discredit the fact that there was a fire? No. Do I discredit the fact that hundreds, if not more, people will lose their lives? No. That is fact. That is factual. There was a factual fire that happened in Lahaina. There is factual death and everything else. It's the rest leading up to it that does not make sense to me. Lahaina is a historic town. And like that tweet says, you can't build new things in a historic town, yet they do have contracts for new buildings. Yet they're also talking about, oh, so I need to tell you guys this too. I'm going to put a link to this. This is important to read. Let me explain to you what this is. I went to the government site of Maui to see what all they had, to see if they talked about the event in January, see if they're had anything up for the event that's coming up in September. And what I found here first, the first thing I looked at was the State of the County address by Mayor Richard T. And I don't know if it's Bison or Bison, Bisen Jr. And there's a lot of very interesting stuff in here that I think you should read. It's a very long address, and there's a lot of words I can't pronounce because they are Hawaiian words, and I don't know how to pronounce them, and I don't want to butcher their language. But there's a lot of things in here that are very, very interesting to me. And the main one being, and now I'm not trying to say, I don't want to put it out there in any kind of way. I'm not trying to say that this was an intentional fire. I'm not trying to say anything like that. I'm just saying the timing of certain things and the math of other things make things look a little suspicious to me personally. Again, I am not a reporter, people. I am not a scientist. I am not a weather person. I am not any of that. I am a chick with a camera and a microphone who's opinionated on things and who looks things up. And when I question something, I say it out loud to y'all. We think this through together. You're getting my thoughts as I go. And here's one of the thoughts that I had. Here's something. Okay. So I'll be putting a link, like I said, to the county address that was given by the mayor on March 21st of this year, by the way, where he states he has raised their disaster fund from what it was last year. He's been in office, I think he said like 70 something days at the time of this in March. He got into.
Listen at this now. Listen, this is what struck my attention. This is not no coincidence right here. I'm just saying. This ain't no coincidence.
Office January 22nd, I believe. The disaster fund for Maui was $3 million previous years, $3 million for a disaster fund, because they don't really have that many disasters. They don't need a ton of money. Why would you need a ton of money for disasters that you don't generally have? So $3 million was put towards their disaster fund. He got into office and immediately jumped it from 3 million to 40 million. Seems to be a rather massive jump to me and impeccable timing. And that is all I want to say on that. I just want to put it out there that way. And it can sound how it's meant to sound, how you want it to sound. I'm just saying the timing is interesting. Now, a lot of the other things in his county address are great. Talking about new water systems to help the farmers, I love it. Talking about ways to bring in more technology.
Would you be interested in collecting 5-figure paychecks for a few hours of work,
All right,
helping
y'all,
me in your spare time from home? I'm going to
kind of go along with what was going on there in January 3rd through 6th with their science summit and what's going to happen in September with the with that summit also. It's interesting. Now, what I also want to mention to you guys is this is a real legit thing. There are real people who have lost their lives. There are real businesses who have been affected. You can see here, they're doing Maui Fire Live update. They want the entire problem.
Sorry, y'all.
Felt from 490 miles away.
Sorry,
the county
y'all.
address that was given. You can see here, they're doing Maui Fire Live updates right now. It says officials are expected to begin identifying the dead on Tuesday. That will be today, because today is Tuesday. I'd never know what day of the week it is. As the death toll is expected to continue to rise. NBC News is in Hawaii covering the devastation. Pretty much everybody's in Hawaii trying to cover the devastation. Now, here's what you need to know about the deadly fires. So far, 99 people have been confirmed dead, while many others remain missing. Officials are expected to start identifying the dead today. Cadaver dogs are helping search Maui's charred ruins for the missing. The fires could pose long-term health risks to residents due to chemical compounds contaminating the air, water, and wreckage, authorities have warned. That's not something a lot of people are talking about. You got to take into consideration that kind of fire melting cars and destroying houses and everything in its path except for the trees and the concrete and celebrity houses and stuff like that, but everything else is completely destroyed. There's going to be a lot of chemicals in the air seeping into the soil, seeping into the water. I mean, you had the fire on the water somehow, and a lot of issues are going to be there. So what's going to happen is at some point, if they haven't already done it already, they're going to evacuate a little farther out from Lahaina. They're going to make it so people need to leave because the air is the bad air quality. You don't need to be there, which honestly, you probably don't. But it clears the area out for the Build Back Better, if you will, just to keep that in mind. It says here the economic cost to Maui from the wildfires could come up to $7 billion, according to Moody's Analytics. And then NBC News teams are on the ground reporting from there. Now, here's what I want you to see. There are real people who lost their lives, okay? There's more than, obviously, that's going to be talked about here, but there are real people. Shannon Weber Bogar told NBC News her friend Franklin Trejos, which is this gentleman here, died shielding their 3-year-old golden retriever, Sam, in the wildfires that consumed Lahaina on August 8th. Her husband, Jeff Bogar, found the bodies of Trejos and Sam in a car one day after the blaze tore through their neighborhood. So it says here, Jeff Bogar said his car wouldn't start and he broke through a window and crawled on the ground until a police patrol found him and he was taken to a hospital. When he returned the next day, he found the bones of 68-year-old Trejos, his friend of 35 years. We've got a family of 4 died trying to escape the wildfire. Feizo and Malui Fonua Tone, Solot Takafua, and her son, Tony Takafua, died attempting to escape the wildfires that tore through Hawaii last week. Their remains were found on Thursday in a burned car near their home. The magnitude of our grief is indescribable, read a statement from family members. Lilas Kanemoto, who knew the Tone family, confirmed the devastating news on Sunday. Then you have a week into the disaster, airlines have evacuated over 32,000 people from Maui. Since wildfires hit Hawaii last week on August 8th, American Airlines operated 21 flights from Kahului Airport on Maui to the continental U.S., evacuating more than 4,200 people from the island, the airline said in an update yesterday on Monday. American United also worked with nonprofits to send in shipments of supplies such as non-perishable food, baby formula, and diapers to the island. From August 8th to Sunday, United Airlines transported more than 11,000 people off of Maui and flew in responders with the American Red Cross, Airlink, and World Central Kitchen, the airline said in a statement. Now, also, so here's some of the stuff that was being shipped in to the residents of Maui or the first responders, if you will. Now, I will say that President Biden, Grumpy Joe, however you want to call Joe.
The way she said it.
Also deployed the Marines. There is Coast Guard and Navy also helping in the area, trying to
increase your profit and work less time with Kittle, a genius new AI tool, which is perfect for
get people to safety, trying to help people reunite with family, trying to help with the cleanup, trying to help with the finding of the bodies, trying to help with a little bit of everything. So thank you to our men and women in those forces who are there to help. Hawaii Airlines said the first 72 hours of the disaster, hundreds of flights were operated and carried more than 17,000 people out of the airport. Within the first week, more than 54,000 pounds of essential supplies were also transported to Maui, including blood, medical supplies, communications equipment, and animal kennels. So the thing that they're worried about right now, besides building it back, is chemicals released into the air and water could pose long-term risks, which we talked about. The fires that have been burning in Maui since Tuesday could pose long-term health risks to residents due to chemical compounds contaminating the water, air, and wreckage. Authorities and experts have warned. The Hawaii State Health Department cautioned on Friday that ash and dust from burned buildings might carry toxic chemicals like asbestos and lead. Many destroyed buildings in Lahaina, the hardest hit community, may have contained these chemicals because they were built before lead and asbestos were phased out of construction in the 1970s, because again, it's a historic town. They were older buildings. Things like lead and asbestos are sort of top of the list. Those are things that are in paint and buildings and then do not not really get destroyed with burning. So now they're in the ash and the dust. Felton said that there is some concern that people in Lahaina might inhale lead and asbestos particles in the air, but that the bigger worry is that the residents might unintentionally ingest the chemicals if they get on clothes or hands. So you've also got FEMA there now, Federal Emergency Management Management Agency. So FEMA agency spokesperson John Mills shared an update on what the agency is doing in Maui. Says they're providing money to.
And one of those activists that's a 7th generation Hawaiian said he don't like the fact that Clinton, not Clinton, Lord, I'm thinking too far back. That Sleepy Joe didn't just declare it as a disaster. I guess he might have had by now, but that was a few days ago. I'm sure he had by now. But Lord, this is so sad. It's sad. My heart broke. I ain't lying. I've been in tears. I ain't even gonna sit here and try to play like I'm all. I done shed some tears over this because I felt not only what they going through, this has been happening. Like I'm just not feeling like. Let me show y'all. I'm about to bring my girl up. I'm about to bring her up too. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. This is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna do send them some positive affirmations on. I wish I had it. If I had it right now, I would send some funding too. I just want to get to the right people, but I would send it with good intentions. And if I could go and help, I would definitely put on my mask and go over there and help those people. I would. I love Hawaii. I love. I like those. I like those island areas like Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Colombia, South America, Africa. I love those. But even in Greece, in some places in Greece, I'm infatuated with. It's like I have some kind of past life connection to those places. When I went to the Bahamas, honey, and Puerto Rico, I was just like I was at home. You know, I get along with the native people. I connect. I try to speak some of their languages I try to respect their customs and stuff. You know, I have traveled by myself and I ain't had no problems because I know how to act. You know, I'm not gonna get over somewhere and do stuff, to disrespect their customs and stuff like that because I know I'm not. I don't even be acting crazy over here in this crazy country, but I'm just saying this is we are one. Like that's why I feel it because we are one. Like you can't just say, "Oh, that's over there." This has been affecting us. It's happened all over the world. I mean, I don't know if this was man-made or it's very suspicious to me. But I'm about to play what yeah. I'm gonna be sending. Like I said, if I could, I would help. I would help in any way I could because I feel them. Like even though I haven't been through that in this lifetime, we done been through this kind of stuff in the past life. Y'all, this man. Let me play this. Where is that one where that man jumped in the? I don't know. They show you people jump. Like that. Okay, let me add this.
Of the popular historic tourist town of Lahaina remain closed, with many of its buildings burned to the ground. Officials say that 911 and phone services were severed amid the devastation. Some of the injured have been flown to the island of Oahu for treatment. The flames were fanned by powerful wind gusts from Hurricane Dora, which is churning more than 1,200 kilometers away. The near 100 km/h winds have also grounded waterbombing helicopters, hampering rescue efforts. Hawaiian residents have thrown themselves into the ocean to escape apocalyptic wildfires raging on the island of Maui. At least 6 people are so far dead as a result of the out-of-control infernos. Local hospitals are reportedly overwhelmed with burn victims, and roads in and out of the popular historic tourist town of Lahaina remain closed, with many of its buildings burned to the ground. Officials say that 911 and
Yeah, I gotta play her. Okay. Why they not bringing up her this lady? Why? Oh, yeah, bring her up with this.
When I pour this blue liquid into the clear one, something very interesting happens. Let's reach inside.
Hi family, how are you? It's me, Miss Sam. Just a quick wee video. So, your girl, Beyonce.
She gonna talk about Beyonce a little bit, but she gonna really talk about them fires. She gonna really talk about those fires.
Mrs. Carter has recently come out and
This is Auntie Sam. She's like a reader, a tarot reader. She said some good stuff. I'm very diverse.
she said, well, she was, at her Renaissance concert, and she said, "Big up Lizzo, well, go on Lizzo, Lizzo, I love you," and or something to those effects, words to those effects. Now, I could have sworn that Lizzo's ass is being dragged through the legal system at the moment because big, fat, big gal, Buduf Buff. Wanna know about Buduf Buff? Big gal, fluffy, fluffy Lizzo has been harassing, it's alleged, been harassing, intimidating, and being quite nasty and spiteful to multitudes of women who have worked with her as dancers and entertainers and so on and so forth. Okay, part of the big girl brigade was not happy at all. And they are suing Lizzo, suing the company, and also suing the dance instructor, who also is a big fluffy gal as well. And the two of them were bullying. Those are the accusations of bullying and harassment, not just for one chick, but mucho chiquitas,
They
mucho
don't only have that many
muchachas.
bastards. They don't need a ton of.
Now, unless Beyonce lives underneath a flipping stone, she must have heard that. Okay. So, why on earth, Ms. Giselle, what's her name? What's her middle name? I don't remember. But why on earth Beyonce would think that it was appropriate for her to big up Lizzo during this massive concert where if Beyonce even passes gas, everybody talks about it. Everything is noticed. If Beyonce does this, it's noticed. If Beyonce does that, it's noticed. If she does this, whatever she does, if she does this, it's whatever, it's noticed. Okay, that was an MC Deborah moment. A new cut, a new color, a new do. Big up MC Deborah. Okay. So the point of the matter is Beyonce, sometimes she's politically correct, some I don't know. It seems as if she she says and does things. Of course she can say what the hell she wants to say, but she is on the public she's on the public stage, which means that everything she says, and also she's a huge influence. So if she says something, y'all are going to go and copy it, and y'all are going to feel the same way about it, aren't you? Especially the youngest and more impressionable ones of us will follow Beyonce because Beyonce is the queen and she is the high priestess and she is right. But she just bigged up Lizzo. Okay, so put your comments in the comment section because it's baffling to me, to be honest with you, why she would do something like that. Even if somebody is your very, very good friend, which I believe wasn't R. Kelly good friends with Jay-Z at one point, and I've never once heard Jay-Z big up R. Kelly. But then again, some of y'all will say no.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so, you need StreamYard On Air. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce the launch of StreamYard On Air. StreamYard On Air is a live webinar platform. You can host a webinar, an event, or a live stream on StreamYard or embed it on your site. With a simple registration page, you can collect all of the emails and names of your viewers. Your attendees don't have to create an account and they don't have to download clunky webinar software. StreamYard On Air is redefining webinar stability. This means it's as stable as platforms like YouTube Live, but with all the features of a webinar platform. Use the same StreamYard Studio that you know and love to create a highly produced, amazing quality webinar. Are you looking to fully brand the experience for your viewers? You can choose to embed the webinar directly on your website. Chat embedding is coming soon. The StreamYard
That then did argue. Because at one point, truth be known, Jay-Z and R. Kelly were kind of sort of similar. Y'all know it. Just because Jay-Z is married to Beyonce don't mean to say that all the shit that he did can be forgotten. Oh no. They all sit on the toilet and bleed blood the same as you and I. Well, some of you don't bleed. Some of us, let's just say, let me not target anybody. Some of us do not have blood in our veins, do we? So, Jay-Z, yeah, could be said as to be just as heinous as Mr. R. Kelly over there, who's sweating in his jail cell by himself. When truth be known, there's a lot of them. Look at what's her name. Anyway, I'll go do the reading in a minute. Yeah, I'll go do the Maui reading in a minute. Your auntie is over there, and your other auntie was at the Taylor Swift concert as well. Not me. Auntie Gail King was at the Taylor Swift concert the other day with her in her old self, at her big age. And Oprah is there in Maui giving pillows and blankets to people. Now, it could just be me, but I remember back in the days when I was at school, and they talked about who they call Christopher Columbus, who is not Christopher Columbus. His name is Christopher Cologne. His statue actually is over there somewhere, okay? About a mile away from here, something like that. Anywho, they talked about Christopher Cologne when he came off the Nina Pinta, off of sailing the high seas, and he came with blankets, and those blankets were infected with smallpox and viruses. Yes. And he gave those blankets to the natives. Why on earth native people and indigenous people would want blankets is anybody's guess, but that's what they taught us in school back in the dark ages. And the blankets were infected with smallpox. So now here we have, fast forward 2023, the Hawaiian Islands, and we've got the island of Maui in particular. And we've got this lady who y'all call Auntie Oprah. And she gone over there to people who are devastated, men and women who have lost their homes and almost been burned alive, and whose children are distressed and next to them and so on and so forth. And there's not really much administration going on. Everybody is volunteering, which means that everybody, random folks, can be in and amongst vulnerable people. Now, here we have this lady, Oprah, who was very, very close friends with this man called Jeffrey Epstein. And one of my lovely subbies just made a comment a little while ago that made me say, things that make you go, things that make you go, ooh. Things that make you go, ooh, 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 yeah. So I'm going to read the comment, okay? If I can find it. Oh, maybe it's on this camera here. Ah, shit, I can't find it. So, I think the gist of the comment was that Oprah had previously had a fire at one of her Hawaii properties. But interestingly enough, what was damaged was the house where she had items, memorabilia, things associated with the days when she hung out with Prince Andrew, that other lady, the pastor lady, y'all know who I'm talking about, that black pastor lady, and Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine, and all the rest of them. Right? So, yeah, that was the house that mysteriously was burned. But that was in a separate incident years ago. I believe that the comment that I'm reading is right. Okay? You can do more research about that if you wish to. But Yes, and so now fast forward, we've had the ocean on fire in Maui. Let's pull some cards. How do we get from one thing to the other? Oh, no. Now, I'm all Florida watered up, so I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. How did these fires start? Are they natural fires? Is it a natural disaster or an unnatural disaster? Were the fires in Maui man-made? Card.
I feel like the president with this teleprompter. Hey, team. No. Hi, team. I'm a sunny.
Yeah, we've got the devil card here in reverse. The interesting thing about this family is that people are tied up to things. People are tied up to debts. A lot of debts here. And it seems as if it's very hard to tell who's in whose pocket. But we're dealing with we're talking about and dealing with some people up there. Not ordinary people. Okay, these are not just residents. These are not just small business owners. These are people up there. Let's get some more information on this. As usual, on the devil card, you see a man and a woman who are tied to a door of something greater. I want to tell you something spiritual in terms of Maui being a place where there's like a great monster or a great demon or a great something. This great energy, the mouth of a cave, family. It's very interesting, you know. There's a lot of monsters in caves. What we've been told are monsters, but in truth, and this is not to encourage anybody to go march into their nearest cave and go, hello, is anybody there? Where is the monster? No, there are energies in there that may not be hostile. Because let the movies tell it, family. We've been told that there are hostile monsters, ghouls, man-eating demons, giants in these caves. But anyway, there seems to be a cave in Maui, right? Where there is a grand energy in there, okay? And this is a psychic energy attached to this devil card. Not that the monster is a devil, no, but it's the people. The people who want access to this great energy that's there. Yeah. Also, it has to do, of course, if you're thinking about a cave, and of course that automatically means land and the land mass around it. If there was a cave right here, then all of this land here where I'm sitting and all of the bushes and everything, all of that would have to be owned by somebody. And once you own it, you have access to it. And if you own it via your grandparents, you know, abuela, abuelita, you know, mima, papa, and them had the land, Shay, before you came along, and now you're living on it with your wife or your girlfriend or your baby mother and your children, and they say, you know, here, come, take this 1 million or take this 500,000, take it, take it, take it. Oh, it's not enough. Okay, take 600,000 then. But we need this land. Yeah? Oh, why do you need the land? Oh, we just want to run something for it. You know what I mean? It's not for anything important, really. But, you know, we'll put a little plaque up saying, you know, honoring me, Ma, Papa, and them. You know, family name will still be, but we need the land. Because the freaking cave is there with the big energy in it that's going to bless and bestow these folks with more power, more access. You know, the interesting thing about Maui and the Hawaiian Islands is, isn't Japan just over there? And Japan is always using the, you know, Japan is very, very territorial when it comes to them waters. You do know that, don't you? Yeah. Japanese marine knowledge is what is wider, wide. I need a drink. Is wider and more developed than Western say Western, than a European-based knowledge. When I say European-based, I'm talking about Europe, I'm talking about the United States, etc. Japanese, ancient, and medieval, maritime, naval, etc. energy is much more. Their knowledge of the ocean, they know what's down there. They know about all the caves. They know about all of the demons, which of course they call by different names and so on and so forth. And of course, the indigenous people of Maui know about these things as well. Okay, but what they do is they soften the culture and soften the spirituality and turn it into something created by Disney. So you don't really get the fullness and the essence of it. I have to say though, the people in Maui, I think that you guys have been very, very compliant, because if you compare, I don't know if you can compare native people in Maui, I mean the indigenous people. I don't know if you can compare them to like the I'm going to say that the New Zealand folks, the Maori. The Maoris, woo, forget about it. Forget about it. The Maoris have said stop. When their culture and spirituality was infringed, it could only be infringed upon to a certain point. It is such a. I mean, I really don't know much about Maori culture and tradition and spirituality, but all I know is that if you feel like you don't play with their spirituality, you're going to learn some generational lessons. That's all I know. Anywho, so yes, there's a big monster there that the elites know about, and they want to kind of clear the land, get access so that they have exclusive access to the demon, to the monster, so that y'all can't go and have access to it. So it cannot bless you. So you cannot get the spiritual downloads, and you cannot be blessed by this energy, great energy, which can provide something out of nothing and really be this kind of regenerative energy, very, very generous energy that can provide for generations to come. So much so that you won't need like government and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? A lot of y'all fantasize about going off grid, where you don't need anything. Well, because you see, one of the major things about going off grid is two things. No, three. Water, access to water, access to electricity, and of course, behind that, Wi-Fi, telecommunications. Well, all three of those things can be provided by the great power in the caves, which is, there's one that they all want to get access to. But I don't know how Oprah going to get on when she try and meet that energy, because she only heard about it and she wants in. For sure, she wants in. That's how Jeffrey got her to his what you call it in the other day, to his island, whatever it's called.
Just one video is all my clients need
Ah.
to scale to 5, then 6, then 7 figures a month in revenue.
I hate to get this subscription. Come, you get them subscription.
That's how he lured her there.
You know, when y'all get them subscription, they want to take out stuff whenever you need that money. Here they come with them. I learned my lesson. I'm being honest. I'm being authentic. I subscribe for a lot of stuff, man. They hit me at one time, one damn weekend. That stuff was like $70 for a whole year. I'm like, I ain't signed up for this. Well, you didn't cancel your subscription. Yes, I did for a lot of that stuff, but I can't remember everything. I ain't even gonna front. I don't think I did. I mean, they hit me hard. How they hit you at one time? I'm like, these companies is going out of business or something. They hard up for money, because I know I ain't the only one that's going through that. They hit me at one. Be careful with them subscriptions. I ain't signing up for this. Oh, I ain't signing up for this. I mean, I do like Amazon Prime and all that, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
She wasn't going there just to have dinner and stuff with him, when she could go to a local restaurant and go have dinner with him and drink good wine. No. She went there because he told her that there is a great spirit there, and he gonna show her where the great spirit is.
She said, y'all hear that? She said Oprah. She said that she don't think Oprah went to that Epstein Island just because of the other stuff. she went also for that energy, that spiritual energy, because you know those islands and stuff, they really do, those bodies of water, they hold certain energies and stuff like that. And them people be trying to monopolize off of it and take it from the native people. And you know, though, like she's gonna say, you can't be playing with other people's ancestors and their spiritual practices and thinking that you're gonna get the same blessings they're gonna get by taking people's stuff. You'll mess around, and you can't mess around with everything. You know, they might can do it, but it ain't for everybody. It's not, you're not in that lineage and or whatever. You know, that's not your people. That's not your, come on now. We all come from the water, but I guess we most of us do. But it's certain, you know what I'm saying, energies. I can't just go in and over to somebody's country and start messing with their ancestors and be like, okay, I done got rid of y'all people, and now here I come, bless me. No, it don't work like that. It really don't.
Jerry Hall is about to marry him. Excuse me, my back was itching. Yeah, I told Jerry, you know, there's this great spirit over there, you know, you pray and you get what you want. You want more money from Brian Ferry, and he's not giving you enough. Go and pray to this spirit, and something will happen
This
to
silver
Brian
red.
Ferry. God.
I didn't Google all the celebrities that own them. I only did a few, but I'm gonna do what you said. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you even in the live. Thank you, cause I didn't. I don't know if I can handle it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm really. This is a lot. Like I don't. I feel them. I feel in my soul that it ain't all what they saying it is. Like I don't. When I get this feeling, most of the time it be right. It ain't sitting well with me at all. Like it's. And this done happened to us before. You know, us. I say us as a collective. I say us as a collective because we can't go on that color thing no more. We can't. You know, we can't say. You know, yeah, it was pretty bad for a certain when they came to America. You know, they created that skin color, but this mess done had happened to a lot of. I can't eat. I'm gonna say this. I didn't.
Brian Ferry, if you didn't know, was the epitome of white man cool back in the day. If you didn't know, I'm just letting you know. Brian Ferry, who was Jerry Hall's former model Jerry Hall, her first husband, he was the epitome of cool. And then she married Mick Jagger. Anyhow, so from the Rolling Stones. So yeah, this is the reason why the fire started. Now, the logistics, how it started, who thought of it, team, individuals, what. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. It's all bullshit I'm talking. Card. Two of Pentacles here. Hold on. Interesting that we got two people here. Okay, Two of Pentacles doesn't refer to two people in general, but on this card we have two people. Okay, and we have two people who are part of the same organization. The same is depicted here as pentacles, but it's the pentagram. So they're part of the same group or order or association. Okay, two people, but one of them you can see didn't like the idea of this at all. We've got 9 swords here. It's an indication that this person or this person's generations or family have been involved in these so-called natural disasters before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
9 swords, and we have somebody who's super anxious and super stressed and very depressed about this thing that they're about to do yet again. It's not the first time they've done it, and in fact,
this ain't the first time.
Before. So this is a situation that is like a reoccurring nightmare in this person here. Now the other person was fine, no problem. This is part of my job. There is a bigger picture, a bigger objective, and this is necessary. When authorities argue and have their workers, special, what would you call it? Those who are given the task to begin something which is going to be huge, they always argue that this thing is necessary and that it is
for the bigger picture. It's necessary. I can hear them.
It's for the good.
It's necessary for the bigger picture. And we got to look at the bigger picture. The bigger.
of a small group of people, not a large group of people. So what we have here is essentially two people who started these flipping fires and deadly fires, and one of them is very disturbed by it. So it's very likely that this person here will not be around for much longer because the mental torment on this.
Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, I used to be scared to eat the cars. These cars don't lie. It's only a tool. It's a tool. It's just a tool. But I don't even want to pull. I don't even want to pull in on this mess. Cause I did it on that. I did it on that. Lord, what is it? Not the Titanic. What's that? The Ocean Gate thing. I did it, and yeah, I did it. You told me the truth.
Is so much that this person is now realizing that what they have done, along with this other person who doesn't give a shit, but what they have done is just another thing. They are just another person in a long line of people from their family who have done this type of shit before, and they want the rot to stop here. How do you treat the rot?
Get out of here.
Guys, I almost got evicted today, but I just signed up for a
They ain't gonna be able to live with
$1,400 health
themselves.
allowance, which
Cause
pays
I
for
couldn't
my
live with
rent.
myself.
Not
I
only that,
did some mess like that. They ain't better live with themselves. Ain't no way.
If this is coming down the ancestral line,
Them ancestors.
and you've done this thing, and it's caused the death of thousands of people and the horrific deaths of thousands of people, how does one stop the rot? It's a very, very emotional question. It's almost as if that person feels as if their life is insignificant in comparison to the thousands of lives that have been lost. Now, we mentioned that, so that was the Two of Pentacles, okay? And the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Extreme depression. This person is fucked up over what they have done. Some people can't even live with the knowledge of one person being harmed by their actions, let alone thousands. So what we have here, you saw the Devil card. The Devil doesn't care about people, doesn't care about the agents of chaos and death and disorder that they unleash upon people because of some common cause. No, they only care about power, control, which comes from a greater source, not Jesus, not Yahweh, not Olodumare, not Olorun, not Buddha, not Allah. But this energy, this big monster for you and me in a cave, which is why they're trying to keep you all away from it as well. It's interesting because whenever I have heard about incidences of, and maybe you've heard the same thing, people who have gone, to go to hunting and stuff like that, they go into caves or whatever, and either they have an accident, or they go crazy, or they disappear completely. Very often it's because somebody else knew that they were going to seek this energy, this power, and they were stopped by man, not by some supernatural, not by Bigfoot, not by some cave monster, not by a Sasquatch, not by a skinwalker, but they were stopped by other humans who knew about their plans and didn't want them to have access to power. I remember one time I was somewhere, right? Just very brief, quick. It's not even a story. But I was somewhere where there was this very, very prosperous lady. The lady was rich. She weren't wealthy because there was nobody else in her family wealthy. So the money didn't come from anywhere else. It just was her. She was rich, she had money, and she had had a baby, and the baby had had its blessings and so on and so forth. You know, various parties, maybe about 3 or 4 parties for the baby's blessing, different parts of the world, mind you. And I was in a place with that lady and her family, and another lady came by, and she was like, please, whatever, you just had because the lady was showing pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff, right? Back in those days, it was pictures. People used to have little photo albums and things like that, little portable ones. You know what I'm saying? Little small photo albums, not the huge ones. So the lady said to her, and this stayed with me, so it must have made an impression, and there is truth to it. The lady said to her, please, whatever the rituals were that you were doing for your baby, please, can you do them for mine? Because this woman was like, damn, everything seems to be working for you. You got it. You got everything. You have everything. When people look at you and they think you got everything, you got the house, you got the car, you got the man, you got the kids, you got the clothes, you got the jewelry, you got the love from people, the respect, you got property, etc., cash, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. And that woman looked at her and she was like, whatever it is that you're doing for your baby, please do it for mine as well. Send the blessings over here as well. Put me on. That was the energy. Excuse me. You can see the bushes behind and so on. So, as I was saying, family, the whole point of the matter is people do want you to put them on spiritually, even if they say that they're Christian, even if they say that they're Muslim, even if they say they're Hindu. As soon as they know that you're doing some kind of ritual or something else, something, shaking something, burning something, praying to something else, as soon as they know that you're doing it, family, they want in. Don't mind what they say about you to other people, Because people be talking the most shit. Oh, who that person over there worship? Which church she go to? Look like she go to Church of Money. But she go to Church of God. Church of Money, not Church of God. People quick to say things like that. You know where them get their money from? Whoa, if me did tell you what me know. People, they don't know shit about you. They just make shit up. Or what them think. Because essentially people are bad mind and what they see you have, they get envious. They want what you have because they're wondering, oh, she get that and she looks so. But she not a girl, a ugly girl that. But she gets it and she got it and she's still getting it. So she must have something. Something she have. So in regards to this lady now, she was talking about, the various ceremonies and things that she did for her baby. And a woman who was in there who never really knew her well. She never knew her well like I knew her. She said, please, like this woman was literally gonna go on her knees.
Do hair relaxers cause cancer in women? Beauty product manufacturers may have put millions of women.
Literally, she was gonna go on her knees and say, please, whatever the ritual is, take my baby, throw her in the air, catch her, whoever it is. Do what you did for your baby, do it for mine. Because I know the blessings must be coming because the blessings are coming for you. Let me tell you something about spirituality and working with spirit and energies. And not everything that people worship is good for you. And not everything and every spirit that people
Right.
worship would recognize you in the first place. You must find your own based upon your bloodline, based upon your creed, based upon your path that you've been on. You can't just see this woman over there. She's worshiping Aphrodite, and now she got a husband, and you feel that if you go worship Aphrodite, you're gonna get your husband too. No, it don't go like that. Maybe her grandparents, her grandmother, and her great grandmother before her worship Aphrodite. Maybe when she was a child, she grew up in the household and saw the shrine to Aphrodite there, and maybe they went on holiday to the Aphrodite temple once a year, twice a year. Maybe they were part of Aphrodite clubs and partook in the feasts and the festivities and so on and so forth around the world, wherever they may be, in Rome or Greece. What I'm trying to say to you is, family, there are people who have connections to spirit because for personal reasons. Let me say you can hop onto it. Some of y'all out there worshiping Oshun and have no business worshiping Oshun because she's not of your creed. You don't have no Nigerian bloodline inside of you. None whatsoever. Not even by proxy. You don't even have, you have a stronger relationship with different river energies, river female deities and goddesses than you do with Oshun. A stronger connection, but you just hasn't been identified to you yet. Or maybe you're turning your back on it. Some of you turn your back on your mother and father and don't know that they come from a rich bloodline. Just because you dismiss the person don't mean to say you must dismiss the culture where they come from. Because it's got pearls in it for you. It's got pearls, it's got jade, it's got cola. It's got something there for you. But it's for you to identify it, for you to seek it. But now what we have is a group of rich people, a smorgasbord of rich people who are very disconnected from where they come from. And they want to hop on to this place now, this place in Hawaii, and go and worship this very great, formidable, and extremely powerful foreign spirit and foreign monster and demon because it is great. But just like all of those explorers that went and raided those tombs in Egypt once upon a time, once negotiations between them and the Egyptian government went bad. Oh yes, I talk about it. Why do you think all these museums are filled up with all these we call it magic? You think they just teethed all of them out there? How so? No, it's business negotiations. They did businesses with the governments. All the Benin bronzes, they weren't just stolen and thieved. It's because chiefs were negotiating over rubbish. You ever negotiated, not the Benin bronzes rubbish, but I'm saying in exchange for, let me give you this, and then you give me this, you give me this, you give me this, you give me this, and then you take that. Now, in this case, this is of higher value maybe than all of those things. But the point of the matter is they weren't exchanging like for like. The Benin bronzes were exchanged for nothing. Cigars, a little bit of silk, flipping umbrella, broken looking glass, liquor, a pistol. These are the things that Benin bronzes, etc. Just to use that as a maybe very bad example. But these things, all of the wealth and riches in terms of the artifacts, were given as part of deals and part of negotiations and business between people who were on the same level. And we, the ordinary people, if I can put it like that, I know some of you are watching this. Miss Sam, don't say you're ordinary people. People who are not in authority or not in, who weren't.
Not the elite that 1%, that group. That's what she's talking about. The billionaire club and those other ones above that.
Able to negotiate with people in authority back then, if that makes sense. The chiefs, the lords, who interacted with the officials from overseas, the French, the British, etc., from Arabia, etc. Anyway, I'm going off topic, aren't I? How did this start with Beyonce and end up all the way over here? So we've talked about Beyonce, but more importantly, we talked about these Maui fires. So I'm going to leave it right here. My name is Miss Sam, and I shall come back in a little while. I think I need a drink. just to wet my whistle, and then I'll do. Maybe I'll stay on this Maui fire topic.
Yeah, she's good, and she bring a lot of spiritual insight. Because I wouldn't just look at the facts and stuff like that. I would look at the science and the spiritual aspect of it, the physical, the mental. You just look at the different aspects of it, the different elements. So yeah, this got to me. It got to me before I did this live. That's why I did it. Like I said, it took my first one, and maybe it was because I was playing something a little too long, but I never seen that before. They don't want you, and I don't have a big phone. They don't want you talking about the truth about this stuff. That's why it's time for us to try to get our own platforms and stuff. Because after a while, if you're not careful, if we don't stand up and stand together, they'll have it so you can't even. If you say the wrong thing, they'll be, they're trying to get to the point where you say the wrong thing, they'll have it where they block your monies and credit and all that kind of stuff. It's trying to be a what's your socialism. They trying to bring socialism into play, like China, communist China, and all of that. So they allegedly they say they done sold us out to those countries anyway. So y'all, we have to. You see my background in the water. This is Hawaii. And I love that. I love all those islands and stuff like that. I'm a mermaid, but yeah, I love the ocean anyway. I love different bodies of water from different countries and stuff like that. And yes, we gotta ascend and go within, get into the spiritual, create what we want, what we think. We don't need to be in fear. I'm hurt by this because I'm connected with those people and everybody because we are one. And also, this has happened to our ancestors all over the world, not just in America and Africa, and it's happened so many places. So we feeling the pain from different lifetimes too. I'm sending out positive affirmations to those people. They done been through a lot before this, so this is just like what you call it, gasoline, more gasoline or whatever. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. This is like insult to injury to them. No, I don't believe that this was no freaking winds from no hurricane because it's gonna happen too much in the history when they can't get lands and stuff that they want and how they, they feel like they gotta go and take it and whatever means necessary like that. Sorry. Even in the towns in North Carolina and stuff and Georgia and stuff all over the US, all over how they buried people underwater and stuff and burnt people out before and stuff. No, I don't believe that when a wind comes. Allegedly, these are my opinions. This is Moon Goddess opinions and thoughts and my perceptions of things. Because the lady even said the squirrel trial that wind don't go that far with no hurricane. The farthest goes like 380 some miles, not no another extra almost 200 miles of wind reaching those people like that and blowing that fire up. I think it was intentional, but I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I gotta go. Yeah, I need to meditate a little while and stuff, cause that's a lot. That is a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. I ain't even have you run my stuff. Y'all donate, cause I be trying to help people out. And these people be donating to these scammers and stuff like that, but they don't want to donate to the real people that help people. But I'm gonna do what I gotta do anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna help people out, do what I gotta do. Anyway. And this is my song when I was into minister of music.
It's such a bright and sunny day.
This is me.
Everything just feels so good today. You know what I'm saying? just see a new light. You know what I'm saying? I can see the trees. I'm not blind anymore. Since I met you, Jesus Christ. See, there's a smile on my face that comes from within, from up above. I've been so alone. Yeah. I've been so let down. Some of my closest family and friends, they could not be found. Yeah. I called on them day and night. Got no answer. They didn't help me out. But when I called on Jesus, his line was clear. Answer my call and wiped away every one of my tears. He held me in his strong, tender arms and loved me so well, gentle and warm. Gave me his peace that comes from within. Loose my shackles and set me free from sin. Everything is so brand new. Yeah. Everything it feels just fine. Oh, fine. Since I met you, Jesus Christ, everything is so divine. Oh, got into some trouble, yeah, that I wasn't looking for. No, I called myself a lawyer. He looked at my chart and said, ain't nothing I can do for you. But then I called on attorney Jesus. He took my case and touched the judge's mind. See, my God, he worked out all of my time. The doctor in the sick room in jail, he will go your best. He healed the sick and raised the dead. 5,000 he fed with a little bit of fish and bread. He'll do for you what you will allow him to do. That's why I can say, yeah, everything is so brand new. Everything it feels just fine. Since I met you, Jesus Christ, yeah, everything is so.
Yeah, I was just playing that while I took a potty break. For everyone, this has been Moon Goddess 777. Support our organization, Maya Civil of Healing and Unconditional Love. Get this information out. Sending out positive affirmations and healing, support, unconditional love, compassion to Hawaii, and the condolences to the lost, tragically lost. That's horrible. Those people were like burned alive, man, and the animals and the vegetation, even the plants and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, yo. Like just sending a whole bunch of love to them, a whole bunch of support, a whole bunch of compassion. I mean, it's crazy. Um, it's just so sad. It really bothered me. I've been trying to do this live since like I should have did it in the wee hours because as soon as they cut the machines on, they took my first one. But I didn't give up or give in. I want to get this information out to y'all, and like the sister said, be at December Red that it's showing support by getting this news out. I hope it reaches the right ears. I don't have a big audience, but I try to keep it real from within. Not on no ego or no bull crap. Because I've been going through it like everybody else. I ain't even gonna sit up here in front. I had to get some stuff situated, and I'm moving to a new location. It's like maybe like a day away from where I'm originally from, and one of my cars went down, and then the other one I had to put in the shop, and I mean, I'm shoot. It's just, we gonna make it, but we gotta, I'm getting more and more out of this material mindset because this stuff is an illusion. It's crazy, You know, I played on my other live about the prices of how things going up, and it's like it's the rich and the poor, the have and the have nots. Like for real, we gotta pull together. We all we got. We are one, y'all, and shoot, I'm ready to go on back to the matriarch. We're gonna start me something on an island somewhere. Well, they ain't, we got our guards and stuff, military guards, so they can't come in and burn us out. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, yeah. We don't went through this too much in a past life and even, you know what I'm saying? Probably this lifetime. Because, you know, shoot, when this lifetime, like, we probably done been here in the early 1900s and done went through this shit. We tired now. We tired of y'all shit. Leave us alone. Go to hell alone. If you miserable and I have to go to another planet and do your bullshit. We tired of y'all. We tired. We fucking tired. Everybody have a wonderful day and try to do the best you can. You know, don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Go within. That's where it's at. That's heaven. It's working on your ascension, ground, and balance and healing. Facing your being your authentic self and speaking your truth. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't you got something that you got something that people need to hear too. Cause it was a time when I was scared. I was scared to show my face up here. I was afraid to get up here. I was, I mean, shoot. Yeah, it was. I mean, I went on TV. I was angry, but just to be authentic and actually expressing my feelings and just showing people the vulnerability, it was hard, but I'm getting there now. I'm getting better. I'm able to be transparent and vulnerable and not feel like somebody gonna, use it against me because I'm comfortable with my shadow self as well as my higher self. I'm comfortable with all of me. I accept it, all of me, and I'm sending unconditional love, balance, wholeness, oneness, ascension out to y'all, compassion, protection, and connect with your ancestors. I mean, even if you don't know who your ancestors are, you don't know your mom and dad or really where you come from, then connect with your ancestors as far as the ones from other time zones and dimensions and just go within and just talk to the spiritual world because it's real out here. We need to be doing that. Like even here in America, they took all that away from us. Those people are blessed because a lot of those indigenous people know their spiritual practices. They I ain't gonna say it's perfect, but they got pieces of the truth of who they are. We got to go within and do a lot of soul searching to find out because they have destroyed and hid and gave us false identities. Over here in America, in the Americas and stuff. They know that, man. The same thing they doing to them and done to them, they done it everywhere. They pull together on our ass. Shit, that ain't just happening in Hawaii. They done that all over. So we know who we dealing with now. It's all out in the open. It's the age of Aquarius. I know. We know it's the age. I know. So we ain't blind now. We know. We know this is a spiritual warfare, and that is the goal. Is not it's money and power, but they are like the Auntie Sam said. They trying to assess these people spiritual temples and the caves and stuff. Like over in Vietnam, it was even Bobby Hemmett that was all about accessing those spiritual matriarchal caves and the mountains and stuff where they got these entities that they tell us that's in these Disney movies and it's not real. This is real stuff. Like these ancient people are protected by these energies and stuff like that. So it's more spiritual than anything else. But I'm getting out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. Support Maya Simple Healing and Unconditional Love. If you want to contact me, it's maya simple777 at gmail.com. Cash out $MG77 WGGGA. Woo God. I love y'all and I thank you for your support and I will see y'all later.